This is breaking news.
Detective Lieutenant Richard LeBrun, Nassau County Police Department. We have scheduled this press conference to provide further details of a fatal vehicular accident that occurred last night. Present are Nassau County Police Commissioner Patrick Ryder, First Deputy Commissioner of Police Kevin Smith, representing the Detective Division, Deputy Chief James Barcher, representing our Patrol Division, Deputy Chief Frank LeBate, and the Commanding Officer of our Homicide Squad, Detective Captain Stephen Fitzpatrick. At this time, I'd like to introduce Commissioner of Police Patrick Ryder. Sir.
So good afternoon. There's not really much you could say about a situation like this. It's just horrific. At approximately 10:30 last night, I received a phone call about the accident and the two young victims in that vehicle that lost their life. I called the county executive immediately, and besides the anger that first came across, and obviously the condolences to the family, he issued a directive that he wants to take back our streets, and we will be taking back our streets this summer. We're done. Two tragic lives lost because somebody chose to drink and drive and end up going the wrong way. We can't have it. We won't have it here in this county. The county executive, again, has spoken, and we will start that enforcement immediately, where we are going to invest a lot of resources into it and taking back control of the streets. Now I'm going to turn it over to Detective Captain Fitzpatrick.
I should have informed you this is about a briefing to update you on the deaths of two 14-year-old males. So last night at around 10:21 p.m., 9/11 received multiple calls for a collision involving multiple vehicles with people entrapped in the car, and basically a catastrophic event. When officers arrived at scene, they discovered a 2019 Alfa Romero that was occupied by 4 teenage males. 2 of those males were 14 years old. They were pronounced deceased there at the scene. The other 2 males, the 17-year-old driver and the 16-year-old passenger, were taken to a local hospital with minor injuries and are listed in stable condition. Also involved was a 2023 Volvo that was being driven by a 49-year-old female with her 16-year-old son. They sustained minor injuries and did not go to a hospital. In the other vehicle, which is 2021 Dodge Ram pickup, was the subject. And on this particular night, the subject decided to drink and drive. He drank so much he was twice the limit that's allowed by law. He proceeded southbound in the northbound lane of North Broadway in Jericho. By accounts of the drivers, he was swerving in and out of lanes, and the kids had nowhere to go. They eventually tried to maneuver to the left, exposing the right side of the car, and the truck collided catastrophically with this vehicle. The pickup truck went airborne, spinning, and landed 300 feet away. And you saw on your pictures the damage it caused to the Alfa Romero. After the collision happened, many witnesses came to the scene. They gave rendered aid to the juveniles, and then a person went over to help the man in the pickup truck. As he was helping him get out of the car, his attention was drawn away. The male subject tried to leave the scene on foot and started heading in towards the mall. CERT officers with our patrol division responded, located him a short time later, show-up conducted, and positive ID. As they were interviewing him, he exhibited signs of alcohol use, his motor skills were impaired, and he was giving a PBT, which he failed. He was placed under arrest, taken to a local hospital for minor injuries, and was released and fit for confinement. Today, he's being charged with aggravated vehicle homicide, vehicular manslaughter first, manslaughter second, 2 counts of assault second, 2 counts of manslaughter second, a DWI, and leaving the scene of a fatality. His name is Amandeep Singh. He's 34 years old, being born October 2nd, 1988. He lives in 7 South Drive in Roslyn, New York. Anybody have any questions?
Where was Singh coming from, and what was his BAC exactly?
So Singh was kind of all over the place when he was speaking. Obviously, he was so highly intoxicated. He was saying he was coming from a birthday party. He thought he was in New Jersey. He asked our officers, "What are you doing here?" It's New Jersey. So we're still investigating where he was coming from. I don't want to get into the actual BAC level. It's twice the limit. Sorry?
I'm sorry, you're saying you have a criminal record.
His criminal record, he had some youthful offender statuses we're not allowed to divulge.
What about the driving record?
His driving record was valid license right now. Everybody else involved in the accident had valid licenses and were given portable breathalyzer and blue zeros.
Are you releasing the names of the teens involved?
Not at this time. They're not properly ID'd by the family.
Were the teens wearing their seatbelts?
Everybody was wearing their seatbelts.
Were the drivers in the car, the 14-year-old or the other teens?
The 17-year-old was the driver, 16-year-old was in the left rear, and the two 14-year-olds were on the right side of the vehicle in the front and back.
Detective Kevin, it's my understanding that you were there on scene.
Yes, I was. I'm sorry?
Describe what you saw when you arrived.
Probably one of the most catastrophic scenes I've seen in a long time. The debris field. If you were there, you would have seen the debris field. It was almost like the car exploded. That's how fast and how the driver hit that car with these kids were in it. Caused them to hit into the Volvo, which was minor damage. But then the speed of that pickup, airborne, spinning almost like NASCAR, ending up 400 feet away. That's just egregious.
Do you know have they estimated how fast he was driving?
We're still determining it. We'll download black boxes and electronic components on the truck.
You said he was swerving in and out of traffic. The driver, did all he could, presumably?
Yeah, let's face it. He's a young driver, and now he has this high speed coming right at him, and it's going from middle to center to middle lane, and it's like, which way do you go? And the poor kid chose to go to the left, and the car hit him.
Can you describe the nature of the injuries for the injured?
What
are the type of injuries for the two?
Internal injuries, minor injuries. They're stable, but they're guarded in the hospital. The youths, the juveniles.
This has been breaking news.